Hello YouTube. Today I'll be showing you a Corrupted Worker Slayer guide. So Corrupted Workers are classified as corrupted creatures, and they're basically the new Slayer creatures located in the Sophanem Slayer Dungeon. So here are the requirements and the location. The first requirement is you need 103 Slayer to kill them. Yes, nowadays we're getting 120 Slayer, so yeah, this is among the new creatures. And so it also requires the new Menaphos quest called Jack of Spades. There are a couple of ways to get to the Sophanem Slayer Dungeon, and so the fastest way to get there is by using the Sophanem Dungeon Teleport Tablet. It's an untradeable tablet that can be crafted from your player-owned house with 2 law runes and 1 soft clay. It requires tier 4 reputation from Menaphos in any district, and you can unlock this ability to craft them. The other fast way to get there is by the Max Guild skill portal to the Luminous Divination spot. You then want to run north and a little west and you'll see the dungeon entrance. While it's not the fastest, but it's really the easiest, is by using the Menaphos lodestone. Then you want to run east and talk to the guard in the middle to cross the bridge. And then after that, you want to run south from the end of the bridge until you see the dungeon. Okay, so now that you're in the dungeon, as soon as you enter for the first time, go to the northeast room and climb down the ladder. Then run all the way north and all the way around to the east side and a little to your south. Now I suggest you unlock the shortcut because it's a one-time unlock anyways and it's well worth it. So what you want to do is just keep going further south and then go around to the west. When you see the large rocks, click remove, and that means you now unlock the shortcut. So yeah, anytime you want to go to this place again, go to the northwest corner, then climb down the chasm, and start running all the way to the east side to see the Corrupted Workers. Okay, I explained a lot of the instructions and directions to get there, but it actually took me a while to figure out. So I'm just going to get into my equipment setup. Now I'm using melee here, although mage is better because they're weak to water spells. The weapon I have is the Noxious Scythe. You can use Dragon Rider Lance or Attuned Crystal Halberd as an alternative. They both work fine. The perks I have are Precise 5 and Aftershock 3. Then I have the full Slayer helmet. You don't need a Corrupted Slayer helmet, so I don't have that, but if you do have it, that's pretty nice. I have Torva Plate Body, although Bandos should work fine. The perks I have are Enhanced Devoted and Crackling 3. The Enhanced Devoted perk can be really helpful here. Then you want to bring Bandos Plate Legs. You don't really need much defense after this. And yeah, the perks I use are Genocidal and Biting 2 with Mobile. And then I have Bandos Gloves, and you can maybe use Death Touch Bracelet for slightly more DPS, but it's not really worth the cost. Then I also use Bandos Boots, but you can use Silverhawk Boots if you want Agility XP. The ring I have is Surgeon's Ring, although Luck of the Dwarves is quite fine if you want the Hazelmere Signet drop chance. Then I have Amulet of Zealots, and I explained this many times. It has better DPS with Leech Curses than Turmoil, or even the new tier 99 Prayer. So yeah, with Noxious Scythe or a Lance, you can expect 100% accuracy. And so because of this, it does 18% more damage compared to 10% or 12% using the new Prayer or the Turmoil. Now otherwise, if you want to AFK, then just use Blood Amulet or just Amulet of Souls. And now this is really important. You want to get a Scrimshaw of Vamp, and I strongly recommend this because they hit fairly hard, but because you're AoEing them, you can pretty much almost heal to full HP using this Vampism Scrimshaw. This is really your main healing source basically. Then the aura I have is Vampism or Penance Aura, which is another secondary healing source you can get. And yeah, the last thing I have is Elf City Quiver, which is for prayer bonus. So here's my inventory setup. I have an Aggression Potion. Then I have Holy Overloads, Weapon Poison ++, Replenishment Potions, and I bring a few Prayer Potions. You might want to bring some food just in case you're not healing enough. I brought a Steel Titan with Scrolls, and it's pretty optional anyways. I mean, you can use Demon Brawlers because the AoE is pretty nice as well. But yeah, you don't really need a Combat Familiar, so otherwise use Clan Avatar if you want more Slayer XP. You don't need Pack Yak or Legendary Pet because the drops come in a chest, and I'll explain later how this drop mechanics work. So because you require this item called a Feather of Mat each kill, you basically need to buy this from the NPC outside the Sophanem Slayer Dungeon, for 1.5k GP. Otherwise, you can get this from Shifting Tombs minigame, or if not, then you can just buy from other players. I mean, the NPC stock outside the Sophanem Slayer Dungeon should usually be enough to last you a full task. And I do recommend that you have tier 7 overall reputation, although I don't have that. But basically, it has a chance to save a feather each kill, which can really save you money, basically. And yeah, the last thing I have is Charming Imp, which is in my Slayer tool belt. So I'm just gonna get into the prayers. The prayer you want to use here is Leech Strength. It basically does more damage compared to tier 95 and the tier 99 prayers when using this with Zealots, like I mentioned earlier, because yeah, you're 100% accurate. Then you want to have Deflect Melee. Although you can soul split like flick it to heal back the damage, as it's not really dangerous, that can really save you some Scrimshaw of Vampism charge time. And for my action bar, I have Cleave on the first slot. Then you want to follow it with the rest of the basic abilities on my action bar. Now you want to put Tuska's Wrath on the side in case you need like quick 1 versus 1 DPS, or you can maybe use this as an instant critical for the Meteor Strike Adrenaline effect. And yeah, for the thresholds, the only thresholds I'm using are Hurricane and Quake. Devotion can also be a backup threshold you can use in case you're struggling to survive. Then the ultimate ability I have is Meteor Strike. You can maybe use Berserk occasionally to deal some fast DPS, but like I don't really do that as often. So here's a strategy. I stand in the north corner of this section of the dungeon. Now this is where most of the spawns can cluster, and it requires the least amount of movement. You can pretty much AFK this if you want, actually. Just use AoE abilities as often as possible. And when using Berserk, you can use Replenishment Potion to bring up your adrenaline, so that way you can use both of your AoE thresholds, and you can kill them really fast. Sometimes, as you notice here, the kill speed is actually faster than their spawn rate. And yeah, because this method isn't so dangerous, you can flick on and off your Scrimshaw to actually save money in the long term. I didn't actually bother doing that, I just forgot to, I guess. So the drops here can automatically be collected to a looting chest in the Slayer Dungeon at any time you want. The key to crossing corrupted gems and charms are not actually included to the chest, so you actually have to pick them up yourself. Now if you die here, you must pay a small percentage of what the value of the chest is to claim it. Otherwise you have to forfeit your drops. It's really cheap anyways. So you can either toggle whether to get drops manually or just auto collect to the chest. Now if you do toggle it manually, there's a 20% chance you can get double the drops. It's not really worth it, to be honest, because the drops aren't really that good. Factoring in the cost of feathers and the Scrimshaw, you get only 1.5 mil to 2 mil GP per hour profit. This equates to around 3.3 mil in raw drops. Keep in mind that this actually excludes the chance of getting a key of crossing or the corrupted gems, because I don't know how much they're worth, so I can't really calculate them, and I don't really know their drop rate, so I can't really give you an accurate answer for this. As for charms, they're really amazing for Crimson Charms. You can expect around 250 Crimson Charms per hour, although I did not include the charms, but this is based on the average Crimson Charm drop rate from these creatures. So overall in 15 minutes, I killed 211 of these corrupted workers. This equates to 844 kills per hour. At this given rate, you get 800k melee combat XP per hour, and an amazing 550k Slayer XP per hour. You also get 7.3 reputation from Menaphos in any district every kill, so that equates to 6.3k reputation per hour. Although you can get the Menaphos 5% XP bonus, but I didn't include this in this calculation. So overall, it's a really amazing task for Slayer XP. It's pretty great for combat XP anyways, but really I don't like the profit here unless you actually include the key to crossing or the corrupted Slayer helmet gem. So yeah, thanks for watching and I hope it helps. If I missed anything, feel free to ask.